All right, good morning, everyone. We'll just give it a minute here for folks to join and come on to the webinar. Thank you for joining.
Okay, well, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us for this webinar on opportunities to charge at work and here in Fairfax County. Today's event is being hosted by the Fairfax County Office of Environmental and Energy Coordination, as well as the Fairfax County Department of Transportation's Commuter Services, along with the Charge at Work program. We're all partnering to help businesses power up their workplace charging programs. And in today's webinar, you're going to hear about a free online tool and some technical assistance available to help businesses plan and implement electric vehicle charging for employees. You'll also hear about how the Green Business Partners and the Best Workplace for Commuters programs are supporting employers who are taking steps to implement workplace charging and commuter programs, including things like ride sharing, biking and walking, and teleworking for their employers and employees, as well as how those businesses can get recognition for those efforts. My name is John Silcox. I'm the Public Information Officer for the Office of Environmental and Energy Coordination. I'll be serving as a host and moderator for today's webinar. Also want to thank Brandon Oldham, who is the Infrastructure and EV Solutions Lead at EV Noir, who helped us with today's event, and you'll be hearing more from Brandon later. But first, just a few housekeeping notes. This webinar is being recorded, and we'll be sending a link to the recording and presentation slides to all attendees after the meeting. It will also be posted on our office's website for those who were not able to attend. Additionally, all attendees will be muted with cameras off during the webinar, but if you have any questions during the presentations or afterwards, please submit them through the chat, and we will be happy to answer and address those questions when we conclude the presentations, and we'll have some time set aside for that. And with that, it's my pleasure to introduce our first speaker, Neely Law. Neely is the co-manager for the Green Business Partners program, and today she'll be sharing an overview of that program and how it can support businesses who are interested in or already embracing sustainable business practices like EV charging. Neely, take it away. You might be still muted, Neely, if you want to unmute yourself.
I certainly will do that. So welcome, everybody. Fairfax County's Green Business Partners program is pleased to offer this program as it is one of the many ways the county works to support the diverse business community in Fairfax County while working together to take climate action. Next slide. The Green Business Partners program, we envision developing and working towards a thriving and resilient business community to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and promote sustainability efforts for a healthy and prosperous Fairfax County. We work to support Fairfax County businesses in our mission by working to create a carbon neutral economy through collaboration and learning opportunities that advance climate action. So this program has 2 tiers of membership, a leader and a member. This 2-tiered structure allows the program to be as inclusive as possible, open to businesses of all types, sectors, and sizes. We want to ensure we're meeting the needs of businesses no matter where they are on their climate action journey. Next slide. So just briefly, I'm going to highlight the eligibility requirements for both the member and a leader category. So a business is considered a member if you are not yet implementing sustainability practices, but you're interested to learn more and to adopt them within 1 year. Or businesses have taken some initial steps but want to do more. To be eligible, the business must be located in Fairfax County and have a current Virginia business license. As just stated, the business has already implemented or will implement at least 3 business practices within 1 year of membership. And to demonstrate that commitment to do so, we ask at the time of application that these businesses sign a pledge, and then after 1 year of membership to demonstrate that they have taken some action. Next slide. A leader as a green business partner is an advanced membership category for businesses that have integrated sustainability into their business model, essentially a whole of business approach to how they run and operate their business. Again, these businesses need to be located in Fairfax County and have a current business license, that they have and can demonstrate that they have incorporated sustainability as part of their business model and have received recognition for that effort, or they have certification through a third-party organization, of which there are many nationally. And you'll hear from Teresa in a few minutes about the Best Workplace for Commuters Award, which automatically enrolls you as a leader for the program. Next slide. So just to highlight some of our core benefits that we offer through our program, and please feel free to take a picture to scan the QR code in the bottom right to learn more. We really work to promote the businesses in a number of different ways. One, by giving a physical as well as digital logo of the member or leadership status so that you can associate yourself and promote yourself as a sustainable business partner in Fairfax County. We also provide a physical certificate of program membership to post in your place of business and a press release template for you to issue announcing to the community that you are a member. We also promote through an online membership directory a listing of members and leaders, and hold webinars that are both educational and informational about new and upcoming programs to enhance your sustainability efforts. We provide additional resources and opportunities to learn through our e-newsletters that are issued every other month, as well as resources on an exclusive membership page, as well as those resources that are available through our public website. As a leader, we like to highlight those businesses through a video spotlight that is featured on the front of our webpage that is produced through channel 16, and that you can link on any of your social media website accounts as well. So just wrapping up, how do you join the program, or why join the program? First, get recognition. I think it's critical these days to Find ways in which you can brand and promote your businesses to meet the needs and expectations of your employees, customers, and demonstrate more broadly to the community that you are committed to take climate action and sustain a healthy and vibrant Fairfax community. The Green Business Partners program may help to enhance your sustainability efforts, as well as saving time and money through resources provided on our website. We know that reducing energy efficiency saves money, and we hope to provide those resources that enabled you to do so, as well as promoting your businesses in Fairfax County. And of course, most of all, it's free. So lastly, how do you join? Well, it's a free and easy 3-step process. Once again, the QR code on the bottom right-hand side, that you would just go out the webpage and fill out the form. It shouldn't take more than 5 or 10 minutes. We don't want to make this process any more complicated. We want to start working with you and promoting your business in Fairfax County. Our staff will review the application and within 3 weeks provide you with a decision on your membership application process. And once that has been approved, we will send via email a welcome kit as well as a physical welcome kit in the mail. So once again, we welcome and look forward to learning more about how your business is green and supporting green business and our climate action in Fairfax County. Thank you.
Neely, thank you so much. It was great to hear about how the Green Business Partners program can help businesses take their sustainability efforts to the next level. And as a reminder, if you have questions, you can put them in the Q&A feature. We will be addressing questions at the end of the presentations, but go ahead and continue to share and submit those as we go. And with that, it's my pleasure to introduce you to our next speaker, Teresa McMullen. Teresa is part of the consultant team for Fairfax County Commuter Services, specializing in employer outreach. In that capacity, she leads the efforts to assist employers in implementing and enhancing transportation demand management programs to serve employers and their commute needs. Today, she'll be sharing an overview of the Best Workplaces for Commuters recognition program. Teresa.
Thank you, John. Again, yes, my name is Teresa McMullen with Fairfax County Commuter Services Employer Outreach Team. And as John said, a big part of my job is recognizing employers for our Best Workplaces for Commuters award each year. Next slide. So the Best Workplaces for Commuters Award supports all types of employers, both large and small, who serve as transportation partners in the region by promoting alternative transportation options to their employees. Next slide. Fairfax County has an exceptional transportation network, as we all know, and employers play a big role in supporting the use of sustainable commute modes through their commuter benefits programs. When we're working with an employer and looking at them as a Best Workplaces for Commuters awardee, we're looking at employers that support a variety of sustainable commute options to their employees, things like transit and biking and walking programs, commuter transit benefits, and of course, electric vehicle charging stations. All of these things help us maintain the air quality in our region, as well as reduce traffic congestion. So when we are working with an employer for looking to see what their awards criteria, which ones they meet, the list is very long, and this is just a very small portion of them, but we're really looking for 3 or 4 specific programs that promote alternative commute options. And of course, you know, as I said, commuter transit benefits, van pool benefits, first and last mile connections, on-site amenities that allow employees to not rely on their single occupancy vehicle during the workday, and then of course, electric vehicle charging stations. We're always looking to see how employers, that's okay, how employers meet these criteria. And each year, we are able to support the nomination of 10 to 15 employers as our Best Workplaces for Commuters awardees. These employers, we pay the membership in Best Workplaces for Commuters and the membership fees for their recognition for being transportation partners in the county. If you go to the next slide. The Best Workplaces for Commuters Award is a partnership. So it is both a regional as well as a national recognition program. And we partner with the Center for Urban Transportation Research out of the University of South Florida to provide the award. Fairfax County, as I said, pays for these membership fees, which gives employers access to a variety of marketing materials, training programs, resources, and certifications for their staff to help them continue to make really good, sustainable commute options available to their employees. Of course, our favorite part of the year is when we get to recognize our employers. Each year, Fairfax County Commuter Services hosts a BWC, Best Workplaces for Commuters, award ceremony with the Fairfax County Board of Supervisors. And this, again, is our opportunity to celebrate all of the incredible things that the employers in our region are doing to help, again, reduce vehicle congestion on our roads and maintain the air quality in our region. We also recognize and support our Best Workplaces for Commuters employers throughout the year. As they grow their environmentally conscious programs, we often go and provide transportation events for them at their work site to help their employees take advantage of the many programs that they've made available. We will go and just celebrate something new and exciting happening with their transportation and commute options. And we like to recognize them on social media. Again, supporting and recognizing the incredible work that employers do in helping us meet our goals. So as Neely said, we're very happy to partner with Green Business Partners program because our Best Workplaces for Commuters awardees are also automatically qualified as a Green Business Partners leader. And we're also happy to partner with Charge at Work program today to bring more resources and tools to employers who are ready to add electric vehicle charging to their commuter programs.
Teresa, thank you. It's really interesting to learn about the Best Workplaces for Commuters program and how it can help support employers in implementing EV charging and other commuter programs. As a reminder, if you have questions during today's webinar, please post them in the Q&A and we'll be happy to address them at the conclusion of our presentations. But for now, I'm going to introduce our featured presenter, Brandon Oldham, who is the Infrastructure and EV Solutions Lead at EV Noir. EV Noir is the lead subrecipient for Charge at Work Initiative, which is a nationwide workplace charging program funded by the Department of Energy and designed to bring EV charging to the American workforce. And Charge at Work aims to engage over 50,000 workplaces and promoting the installation of 100,000 plus EV charging stations to help build an equitable e-mobility infrastructure in our country. Brandon's here to explain how Charge at Work can provide technical expertise and tools to help make workplace charging a reality for your business. Brandon?
Thank you so much, John, and fellow panelists. Good afternoon, everyone. This has been so far a great collaboration just to see how all these programs work well together. So I'm very excited to be able to share more about Charge at Work. So Charge at Work, what do we call it? It's a new EV workplace charging program that we like to call your workplace charging concierge. And it's launching in Fairfax County as well as nationally. Just a quick overview of some of the items I'll discuss in the presentation is first, we're going to talk a little bit about the need for workplace charging. So why more and more companies are looking for workplace charging. Next, we're going to talk about what we call the new normal, where workplace charging is the norm and why you can and should get ahead of the curve in adopting workplace charging. It's a benefit to you, your workplace, your workers, and your community. Next, I'm going to talk about how we can help. We want to get to a place where installing workplace charging is easy. Although we can't guarantee it'll be a simple process, we have the technical expertise and tools to help you navigate making the right decisions, the right connections, and to make workplace charging a reality for you. Next, we'll touch on what you can do now, some of the next steps you can follow up as soon as we say goodbye today. And I'll also give an overview of the eval certification, which is a blue ribbon certification for workplaces that are or become leaders in workplace charging. And finally, feel free, as John has mentioned, any questions that come up, feel free to put them in the Q&A and upvote questions that you also agree with. A little bit of fun activity here, let's see if this will work, is I want to launch a quick poll just to get the juices flowing and to see how the audience is. So you should see a poll, real quick questions. I'll pause and let everyone go through that just to see where we're at in the audience collectively with EV charging. Perfect. I see some responses coming in. So as I see those coming in, essentially just getting a quick feel for the crowd and the audience. All right, I'm going to go ahead and end it here, but share the results. So everyone should be able to see the results. What we're basically looking at here, everyone in attendance today, 87% do not currently own or lease an electric vehicle. And it's a little bit of a mix here. 53% majority are considering an EV as their next vehicle for purchase or lease. 27% unsure, split between no and unsure. And then, is charging infrastructure currently available at your workplace? And it looks like majority, 47% no, 13% unsure and or NA for 7%. Thank you so much for participating in that and giving an overview. To summarize, we're at a majority do not currently own or lease, but a majority is interested to consider a vehicle as their next option. So let's move on here. So nationally, what we're seeing is EVs are on the rise, and forecasts for electric vehicle sales in the United States say that by 2030, EVs will represent 40 to 50% of total passenger car sales. And they're not just projections. We're seeing the proof of these growth estimates today. EV registrations across the country in the US rose 60% in the first quarter of 2022, even as the overall market was down nearly 20% over the same time period. And we're continuing to see those growth trends. So talking about the need a little bit, in that survey we just did, we did see that a majority of folks are interested for the next vehicle to be an EV or to lease it. And the majority of folks for the next vehicle want it to be an EV, and they need charging network. So that speaks to the need here. And additionally, there's some benefits that not only benefit the drivers and the workplace, but the community. So when you think about the climate, clean air, and the pocketbook, the benefits are well documented and widely known that EVs contribute to cleaner air and a healthier environment, greater local energy independence, lower fuel and maintenance costs for the owners, and a stronger, more technically advanced competitive economy. And that brings us to why workplace charging. Well, 74% of current EV owners express strong interest in workplace charging. And at the same time, 60% of EV drivers need chargers at work, either because of long commutes, they need to charge up to get back home, or no access to at-home charging. So workplace charging can help bridge an important gap between what people want, EVs, and are interested in, and what they need, which is a place to charge. When workplaces respond to this need and this desire for increasing demand of EVs by adopting workplace EV charging, they'll see the benefits. There's a number of benefits they'll see. They'll see happier employees who want to stay with your company. Pretty soon, workplace charging will be an expected amenity, not just a perk. A smaller company carbon footprint that may help you meet company sustainability goals and help you stand out as a leader. Companies that lead on sustainability and conservation often enjoy reputations for having smart community-driven leadership. And then also workplace charging helps put more EVs on the road because it gives workers a guaranteed place to charge. More EVs means healthier air and cleaner local communities. And finally, EVs should be accessible to all, not just workers who have dedicated charging space, but if you think about folks who might live in an apartment or multi-unit dwelling and don't have the access to charging at home, with workplace charging, they can have that gap filled and know that they can purchase an EV with confidence and be able to charge. So to keep everyone engaged, just another poll here, see where we're at with things. Let me know if this pops up. I'll give everyone just about a minute to complete that. This one dives a little bit deeper. So if you were thinking about having an EV and wanting workplace charging, what would influence those decisions? And basically gauging support. These questions are a little bit longer, so I'll just give it a little bit more time. I'm seeing the responses come in. Thank you for filling these out. All right. Give it about 5 more seconds here. And I will end it and share the results. Everyone should be able to see the results. What I'm looking at is we have, so if EV charging were available to your workplace, would it influence your decision to purchase or lease an EV? And that's overwhelming 62% yes. That would help for the folks who are interested, which was a majority, for their next vehicle to be an EV. Having workplace charging would help in that decision. And 92%, it makes sense that if you joined this webinar, you are interested in learning more about the benefits of EVs and workplace charging. And then would you support the deployment of charging infrastructure? That's great to see. It was 100%. So thank you everyone for sharing that. And that kind of speaks to the statistics that we're seeing across the nation and the need for workplace charging. So that brings me to how Charge at Work can help. So we are a U.S. Department of Energy funded National Workplace Charging Acceleration Program. We can help in terms of education. We can walk you through creating a workplace charging plan. We inform you about incentives for workplace EV charging. We can help you figure out the number of chargers you could need in 5 years and much more. So we offer technical assistance. What kind of chargers do you need? We can help. How much will all this cost? And we can help figure that out too. We're also creating online tools that support you. We're happy that we just launched recently, last week, our full program website, which has a special project builder and a resource center. So I'm going to walk you through a little preview of what that looks like and show you some of the tools and resources of the project builder. And we want to be clear that we are focused only on workplace charging solutions designed for use by workers, not fleet charging solutions. If you have needs or questions there, though, we're happy to connect you across CalSTAR, EV Noir, or local Fairfax County and Virginia resources to connect you with fleet charging solutions and or DC fast charger solutions, because the chargers for this program will be level 2 240 volt charging solutions. So like we just said, very excited to announce that the project builder is live. You can go to www.chargeatwork.com. You can sign up for updates. You can see some of the resources that are on the website. But in the top right, you'll see Build Your Project. And this is where the project builder lives. You'll sign up. And so if you're interested in wanting to deploy charging infrastructure or just take the initial steps of exploring what it actually looks like, that would be your go-to. Building a project, signing up, answering some questions, and you can always go back and change the questions to see how different scenarios might map out. So that's the number one resource that's on the Charge at Work website. But then also there's a number of resources that would help answer some of those more in-depth questions of charger technology, pre and post surveys. There's a lot that goes into being able to successfully deploy a workplace charging program. And that's what the Charge at Work Resource Center and Project Builder is all about. Being able to connect you with resources and the expertise to be able to make it a much more seamless process. And before the project builder launched, but what's still active is the pledge. So you'll see that in the menu in the top left. If you know that you are a workplace interested in deploying charging infrastructure, even if you're not going to and you don't know what that looks like, signing the pledge is making a commitment. It's non-binding, and it's a pledge just raising your hand saying, we're a workplace, we're interested in this. You're likely going to also start a project to see what it would actually look like. And these can be some of your first steps to explore what it looks like. Because we're funded by the DOE and it's a national program where we're not trying to sell you anything, you can rest assured that the resources there are meant to help guide you through that. One of the things that early adopters get when signing up and building a project early on is a free site assessment and a site walk with our partners. So as you move forward and you know you're really interested in the next step to make it a reality, having that free site assessment and site walk to explore electrical capacity, map out where the charges would go. Those are just a number of resources that we offer. So the next slide's here, just going to give a sneak peek of what the project builder would look like. When you click the top right menu item, you're going to be taken to this screen, and it's going to walk you through a series, a wizard, if you will, and a series of questions to build your workplace charging plan. After you've answered some questions, you'll be given a dashboard. And basically, this is a summary of the questions you would have answered. So this is a hypothetical dashboard scenario, but it'll show you timelines, projection costs, as well as being a resource to host documents. So there's going to be local incentives that apply to where your workplace is, and that those incentives will be factored into the cost worksheets. And then the project planner, this is a dedicated hub so that as you get things together, say there's been a site assessment documentation or certain permit drawings and one lines, and this plan is becoming a reality, you can use the project planner as a hub and a project planning tool to keep those documents all in one place, track the project, and then as it becomes more a reality, always know where those documents are in one place. One of the things that EV is bringing to the Charge at Work program is ensuring that the Justice 40 initiatives, which are a goal from the National Department of Energy and Department of Transportation, to ensure that 30 to 40% of the benefits of this program do roll out to disadvantaged communities across the nation. What this map is showing right now is the red highway lines that you see. That's where there's a need for charging infrastructure within every 50 miles. NEVI, the National Electric Vehicle Infrastructure Bill, is going to address a lot of these gaps, but workplace charging, specifically in neighborhoods that are purple on this map across the country, will also fill in that gap for many Americans who live in apartments or multi-unit dwellings. So, electrify your workplace with Charge at Work. You can start planning your project builder today. You can sign up for updates as we roll out more initiatives and future webinars. And you can sign the pledge if you know you're a workplace that is interested in deploying electric vehicle charging. Finally, I definitely would like to also introduce you to an eval program. It's the Electric Vehicle Adoption Leadership Certification, and it's similar to a building certification program where you get a blue ribbon recognition and certification for standing out as a leader for adopting electric vehicle infrastructure. There are more webinars in the future about that as well. So if you'd like to learn more, check out Forth's website, or also feel free to send us an email. We can connect you to the right folks, and happy to share more about what that would look like. And as I wrap up here, excited to answer any questions you have. Please check out the website, chargeatwork.org, sign the pledge, see the project builder, start walking through some different scenarios, see the resources that are on there. As you move forward with making this project a reality, feel free to reach out, save the website as a bookmark so that if next year is rolling around and there's that time to evaluate new projects that you're working on, feel free to reach out to us anytime that you're ready to move forward. And I'll hand it back over to you, John. Thank you so much.
Brandon, thank you. You shared some great information about the technical assistance and tools that are offered through the Charge at Work program. As a reminder, if folks have questions, they can post them now in the Q&A, and we'll start to address those now. Um, and I think we'll start with one question that was already posted. Brandon, I think you may have addressed it, but maybe you want to add to your comments. The question was, how quickly is charging technology evolving? If I add EV charging to my business now, is there a risk that the technology will be obsolete soon? I know you posted a response to that, Brandon, but do you want to just elaborate on that a little bit?
I'm so glad that question was asked. And so great thing about level 2 charging is no, this would not become obsolete. So even now with the fast chargers you're seeing, and I can talk a lot about this, so feel free to let me know. But the short answer is 240 volt level 2 charging will not become obsolete. For passenger vehicles, you're seeing battery capacities will likely not go beyond 100 or 150 kilowatt hours. And with that 240 volt, which is level 2 charging, think about your standard charge point, or if you've seen other charging stations, it's the J1772 port, which also change out to NACS, which is the next thing you might be worried about as evolving. NACS is the North American Charging Standard port. Then it was a name change really because it's what we all know as the Tesla connector. So the Tesla connector is the North American Charging Standard name, and that port is being adopted by a lot of automakers and a lot of charging station vendors. So ChargePoint, Electrify America, EVgo. That's the biggest thing that will change. However, what I want to impart is you wouldn't want to hold up an adoption of deploying a whole workplace charging plan because of that, for two main reasons. First, there's going to be an adapter gap in the market where folks like myself, I recently bought an EV and it has the J1772 port, and there's already adapters on the market. Tesla drivers have been using an adapter to be able to use those J1772 ports already. ChargePoint has shared data recently that Tesla drivers are amongst their most used charging profiles. So the adapter market's very strong. So, and then the key reason why I say you wouldn't want to stop is to get these projects rolling. And the reason why a resource like Charge at Work exists that's funded nationally to help workplaces do this is not to scare anyone away. It's not simple, but it's not difficult. But it is not as simple as like, oh, when we want to do it, we'll do it. That's what workplaces have found, is it's a little bit challenging to get things off the ground, starting with a site walk, permitting, looking at electrical capacity. And so that's what this resource is really for. You could be looking at a project that's optimistically the best you might ever get is 6 months, but really 18 to 24 months potentially. You're looking at a up to 2 year time horizon, and we're actually still dealing with delays in shipping and manufacturing of switch gears or transformers. Less of an issue for workplace charging, depending on the number you're rolling out. Most workplaces have a capacity to add, say, 5 to 10 chargers. But if you were adding a more robust plan, you would need some higher electrical capacity gear, which just on the long-term horizon, switch gears and transformers are up to 2 years out with lead times. So that's why getting the ball rolling now, if you get behind the curve, all the other workplaces that adopt, you're getting behind that curve. And so it's just going to take even longer. So it's kind of an in-depth answer there. I hope that provided some value. At the end of the day, too, say you do move forward and you officially want to change out that connector, it'd be a really simple job. So you wouldn't want to stop the whole project of conduit, getting them installed, when at the end of the day, say the technology that would change the most is that connector, and that's just swapping out cables, which after 10 to 15 years would be a standard maintenance protocol anyway. So I hope that answered that question.
Yeah, thanks for addressing that. Another question I'll throw to you, Brandon, is does Charge at Work support charging infrastructure for workplace fleets as well as employees?
Thanks for asking that too. I did mention that. And the answer is unfortunately no. For Charge at Work specifically as a program, it's not fleet charging at the workplaces. However, if you are a workplace and you know you only want dedicated charging for fleets, feel free to reach out, mention that, and we connect you to some other resources that are focused on fleet workplace charging specifically. Fleets tend to be more, it's a different application. And so you usually have a different type of project, but it's similar but different. you're usually talking level 2 chargers, but you need some software connections. You might do battery backup to help with capacity constraints, because a fleet inherently typically assumes more vehicles and some time scheduled management. So similar, but a little bit different.
Well, thank you for that answer. One question I'll ask, and this is for all of our panelists. Are there any costs to joining or participating in any of these programs? So I'll start with Neely in terms of the Green Business Partners program.
No, there is no fee for charging for joining the Green Business Partners program. Our role and objective of the program is to celebrate and work with businesses who are taking climate action. And so we want to make it as easy and as accessible as possible. So there is no fee for the program or for any of the resources that we are providing on our website.
Thank you. Teresa, do you want to address that for your program?
I will. Yes, we're in the same situation. There are absolutely no fees for the Best Workplaces for Commuters awardees. Fairfax County Commuter Services picks up any related fees for the membership of the award nomination for 2 years for an employer. It's just our way, again, of celebrating and recognizing the commitment they're making to being good transportation partners.
And Brandon, do you want to speak to that for Charge at Work?
Yeah, no, thanks for asking. And also, again, I know it almost sounds too good to be true, but just know the reason why is it's DOE funded. There's a lot of funding from the Department of Energy to deploy this national resource to help workplaces. Happy to dive deeper. Like, essentially, workplaces were moving forward. They found it to be a little bit more challenging than the low-hanging fruit. So kind of the low-hanging fruit options are gone, but the industry's grown so much more, and it's more of lead time and knowing how to plan the best project as you move forward. And so the need was seen, and there's no cost. The only thing that you might miss out on by being a late pledge signer or also just adopter of a project builder is there's a limited number of free site walks we can do. So the site walks with our partners ChargePoint and Qmerit, those are kind of a first come first serve basis. So sign the pledge if you're interested. Also start going through that project builder. Some of the other resources we help out with are having one-on-one meetings. So as you're really deploying a project, and you might want to do a pre-survey with your employees to understand the need, a post-survey once things are implemented. These are all types of value adds that we can work with your workplace specifically and your employees. We can, whether it's an employee advocate who's raising their hand, who's got a group of employee EV drivers coalition, and they want to help go into management, or it's management saying we've committed the funds next budget year or 2 budget years out, and we just don't know how to do this. Reach out to us. We can help be that voice. If you get the employees who are interested together, we can help find those employees if you want to implement surveys. So it's that's all free. And yeah, it's very exciting.
That's great to hear. Again, I'll remind our attendees, if you do have any questions, feel free to drop those in the Q&A right now. We still have a couple of minutes left, and I'll go ahead and throw a couple more questions out to our panelists. I'll direct this to Neely and Teresa. We heard about the Green Business Partners program and the Fairfax County Commuter Services and their Best Workplaces for Commuters program. Does someone need to complete an application for the Green Business Partners if they are already a Best Workplace for Commuters member?
Teresa, I can begin to answer the question and can follow up. It's been a great partnership, knowing that the Fairfax County is supporting businesses in a number of different ways. And so our effort as part of the Green Business Partners program is to streamline those efforts and to not make the application process a barrier for application and joining. We heard as we were developing in the program that sometimes an application process can be very onerous and a deterrent, and businesses not willing to share the information in as part of the application process. So our application process, as I described, is very brief. It should only take you 5 to 10 minutes, where once you are a member, we can dive deeper into the specifics of your business operations and your sustainability efforts, so we can celebrate and continue to promote. And one way in which we are doing that is through the Best Workplace for Commuters program, which is a local recognition effort, but it is a national program, right, Teresa?
Yes.
And so by filling out and completing the Best Workplace for Commuters application process, you are automatically admitted as a leader. So it is just through contacting your Fairfax County for Community Services staff, and they will forward that application with your consent to us.
That's right, Neely. And let me add, applying to be a Best Workplaces for Commuters has actually gotten easier in the past few years. That application process has also been streamlined, and we work with an employer. We don't recommend or nominate an employer until we're really sure that they are going to meet the awards criteria. And when they do that, we walk them through the application process, which again, we have it down to about a 10-minute process. And so then once it's completed, it's not so difficult to get finished with it. And then, of course, we are able to pass that completed application on to the Green Business Partners when one of our awardees is interested in having that recognition as well.
Well, thank you for addressing that. I see we're just about out of time, but I'll just throw one last question to Brandon to wrap us up here. So you mentioned that there is a pledge on the Charge at Work site that employers can take. Is there any commitment required when they sign that pledge, or is there anything more required of them at that point?
Great, thank you for asking that. And yeah, to be absolutely clear, no commitment. It's a non-binding pledge. If you're a workplace who's just interested and you're like, yeah, I can raise my hand and say I'm interested, like I can see within the next 5 to 10 years we would deploy it. That's pretty much what the pledge is. You're a workplace who's interested. If tomorrow you change your mind, the pledge has no say. And if you are interested, I'd encourage the next step being to check out the project builder. And then if it's not a reality right now, like there's many different stages, kind of the examples I shared, but whatever stage you're in, feel free to message us. We'll reach out and we can start walking you through that process. Or if you've always wanted that person or resource center to help be that concierge, that's why we call it your workplace concierge, charge concierge, to kind of answer questions and guide you through wherever step you're at, what that would look like.
Well, thank you so much. It looks like we are at time and we were able to answer some of the questions that came to us. So we want to thank everyone for joining today's webinar. Also want to thank our panelists, Neely Law, Teresa McMullen, and Brandon Oldham. For those who attended today, please look for an email with the presentations from today's webinar and a link to the recording in the next couple of days. If you enjoyed the webinar and want to know more about upcoming Green Business Partner offerings, please visit www.fairfaxcounty.gov and search for Green Business Partners, or you can email greenbusiness@fairfaxcounty.gov to learn more. For more information on Fairfax County commuter services, including the best workplaces for commuters, visit fairfaxcounty.gov/transportation/commuter services, or email to dotcommuterservices@fairfaxcounty.gov. And for more information and updates on Charge at Work, including access to that resource center and project portal, visit their website at chargeatwork.org. And so that takes us to the conclusion of today's events. Thank you so much for joining us, and we hope you have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.
Thank you all.